quick transition, perfect transition for that. So we didn't talk about this at all when it happened, but the WWE and TNA well, I'll say NXT. Well, WWE and TNA partnership. We got the article about it and how long and what was going to be happening. And, you might have laughed it off a little bit because we got Joe Hendry, Jordan Grace for the most part, and you saw Ariana Grace and Cora Jade pop up on Impact. But now business is starting to pick up a bit. We got Moose interacting with Obafemi on NXT last night, and we got the Hardys kind of promo saying they're coming in NXT and had their eyes on Fraxium. And this is huge. Like I said, I wasn't sure where
exceeding all expectations.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure where this was going to end up going. But granted, as a business, you're not going to throw your whole hand out right away. But like this is setting up Stand and Deliver to be like must-see television because we already know Moose and Obafemi, they'll probably go at it at Stand and Deliver. They have some time to get there, but the match is going to happen. And do you know the Hardys and Fraxium, they're going to face each other because tag team wrestling's been at a low, but I'm not sure if you've seen any Fraxium matches, but they're my tag team of the year, and they are dysfunctional working tag team. And I'm looking forward to that match when it does happen, champion versus champion, because I think that's a big marquee match for WrestleMania weekend if that's when it does end up happening.
Man, so I'll tell you what, the past couple weeks, so from the scarce times that we have been on the show, I'm never up to date perfectly on NXT. Try to watch some clips here and there. The past 3 weeks after I see some clips on social, I'm like, all right, because I turned off my DVR for NXT. It doesn't exist. I keep telling myself, I got to set it back on. Last week, a friend of mine, Ricky Starks, showed up on NXT. And I was like, oh, I love this guy. I got to set the recording. I did not. And this episode with the Hardys promo where they're gonna compete in the NXT ring this coming Tuesday, I'm missing it. The signing of the new free agent Ricky Saints, I missed this segment.
It was great.
When I'm leaving the grocery store and getting in my truck today, I sat in the parking lot for 5 minutes watching the segment between Obafemi and Moose. And the nerd in me loses my shit. Because one, that's just real and that's awesome. Everything about it was great. Also, I remember Moose said something in an interview where he's like, if this crossover's happening, I don't want to go to NXT. He wants to go to the main roster. So that's running through my head. Then also, the nerd in me, I'm like, the NXT champion is being confronted by the X Division champion. So it's like, we all know WWE, they're going to probably go over in the NXT guy or the TNA guy. But I'm like, this is badass. This isn't Joe Hendry, world champion, coming up against NXT world champion Obafemi. Moose and him, they're neck and neck, and obviously I don't see Moose winning, but in a weird, sick way, I want to root for him. Because if this established 25-year-old company can have their mid-card champion come in, and I know Moose has done it all, won it all, but if he can come in and beat NXT's new young hot monster while he's a mid-card champion, I'm like, all this is exciting. I like that that's the way it's somehow getting shaped up. It's the right character versus each other. It's exciting to see these two guys as different champions. I still try to stay up to date on Matt Hardy's podcast, and a week or 2 weeks before the ink was signed on this NXT TNA deal, he did make a bold 2025 prediction that he would wrestle in a WWE ring this year. So it was like he was hip to game. It is all very exciting. Oh, and also the women's division in NXT is the greatest women's division in all pro wrestling.
I'll just say this.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, my God, Gorilla. So when it comes to that, I'm really excited. And you kind of got to wonder here, because at a certain point in time, you got to validate this partnership. And somebody's got to swap gold from a company, because it can't just be, all right, I'll win all the regular matches, but then the big match,
I'm getting all the 01 Invasion feels.
I see all the shivers in you right now. So at a certain point in time, we gotta swap gold a little bit.
But like my whole thing is like I don't want it to champion versus champion. Like, man, do I think it'd be awesome? Like, yeah, the TNA X Division champion beats Obafemi and has both belts, blah blah blah. Or like, yeah, the Hardys come and add to their lineage and get the NXT tag titles. That's awesome. But I don't want it to be all double champions. Like, I want, man, I don't know. I want Ricky Starks to beat, or Ricky Saints to beat Joe Hendry and be the TNA champion. I want that to happen. I just saw, what is it? Cora Jade is probably going to, I can see Cora Jade going over and winning the Knockout Championship.
Yeah,
I don't think it's got to be cut and dry, just titles being unified. But
I didn't mean unified. I didn't mean unified.
No, for sure. I know. Slightly alluded to it, but
you were thinking you can't get that alliance stuff out your head. That's what happens.